Prepping often comes with a hefty price tag, but with a little bit of savvy, it doesn't have to break the bank. You've probably heard it before, the idea that being prepared for emergencies is only for those with deep pockets. That stocking up on supplies, building a bug-in kit, or setting up a sustainable living scenario is a luxury that not everyone can afford. But here's the thing, that's a common misconception. Prepping doesn't have to be expensive. In fact, with some careful planning and smart strategies, it can be quite budget-friendly. In this video, we're going to debunk the myth that prepping is only for the wealthy. We'll show you how to prioritize your needs, gradually stockpile supplies, make the most out of what you already have, and even tap into community resources to help you prepare for any emergency situation. We'll discuss how focusing on essentials like water, food, first aid, shelter, sanitation, light, and hygiene can help streamline your prepping process. We'll also share budget-friendly options for each of these categories. You'll learn the concept of gradual stockpiling and how to incorporate it into your weekly grocery budget. We'll also share tips on how to save money using sales, coupons, and cashback apps. We'll explore the pros and cons of do-it-yourself versus buying pre-made supplies. We'll even highlight some DIY projects that can help you save money and recommend reputable brands for items you can't make on your own. We'll emphasize the importance of repurposing and the magic of multi-use items. You'll be amazed at how many household items can serve multiple purposes in a bug-in situation. We'll also discuss the power of community resources and how sharing knowledge and resources with others can be beneficial. Plus, we'll talk about bartering and skill sharing as valuable tools during emergencies. And finally, we'll discuss long-term strategies for sustainability, which are not only good for your wallet, but also for the planet. So, let's dive into how you can prepare for emergencies without emptying your wallet. This is the art of budget-friendly prepping, making sure you're ready for whatever comes without having to spend a fortune. When it comes to prepping, it's crucial to know the difference between needs and wants. Prioritizing essentials is the key to affordable and effective preparation. Let's start with the basics. In a bug-in situation, the core essentials include water, food, first aid, shelter, sanitation, light, and hygiene. But how do we gather these essentials without breaking the bank? For water, consider investing in a Brita or Berkey water filter. Water purification tablets and rain collection barrels are also affordable options. When it comes to food, bulk grains, beans, rice, canned goods, dried fruits and vegetables, and homegrown produce are your friends. These are economical, long-lasting, and nutritious. First aid is another crucial category. DIY kits can be a cost-effective alternative to pre-made ones. Also, learning basic first aid skills can save you money and potentially lives. Don't forget to stock up on essential medications when they're on sale. Shelter improvements like weather stripping and insulation can be cost-effective ways to prepare your home for adverse conditions. Tarps can also be handy for quick repairs. In terms of sanitation, hand sanitizer, bleach, and DIY soap are affordable options. You might also want to consider a compostable toilet for long-term scenarios. For lighting, consider solar lights or rechargeable batteries. Candles can also be a cost-effective solution, especially if you learn to make your own. Lastly, hygiene. Reusable menstrual products, baking soda for deodorant, and DIY toothpaste are all cost-effective solutions that prioritize sustainability. While this list might seem daunting, remember that you don't need to acquire everything at once. Prioritize based on your immediate needs and gradually build your supplies from there. Also remember that the most affordable option might not always be the best in terms of quality or longevity. It's crucial to strike a balance between cost-effectiveness and reliability. So, whether you're preparing for a short-term power outage or a long-term bug-in scenario, remember to keep your focus on the essentials. Prioritize your needs, not your wants. This approach not only saves you money, but also ensures you're prepared for whatever life throws at you. Remember, smart shopping and prioritizing needs can save you a lot of money in the long run. Building your supplies doesn't have to be an overnight endeavor. It's a common misconception that prepping requires a significant upfront investment. But the reality is you can build a robust stockpile gradually over time without breaking the bank. Imagine this. You're at the grocery store and you decide to buy one extra can of food. Just one. It might be beans, corn, or even a can of soup. The cost is minimal, but the impact is significant. You've just taken the first step towards stockpiling. Repeat this process every week, and before you know it, you'll have a pantry full of essentials. Now let's take it up a notch. While you're shopping, keep an eye out for sales on bulk items. Things like rice, pasta, and canned goods often go on sale, and when they do, it's a perfect opportunity to stock up. And don't forget about discount stores and warehouse clubs. They're a goldmine for affordable, bulk purchases. But what about those weeks when the budget is tight? Well, that's where the beauty of technology comes in. There are numerous apps available that offer cashback, coupons, or rebates on grocery purchases. Ibotta, Rakuten, Checkout 51, and Fetch Rewards are just a few examples. Using these apps can help you save money, which you can then use to further build your stockpile. Gradual stockpiling is not just about food, though. It applies to all essential supplies. Maybe one week you buy an extra pack of batteries, the next a spare flashlight, and the week after a first aid kit. The key is to consistently add to your supplies bit by bit. The beauty of this approach is that it spreads the cost of prepping over time. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by a large one-time expense, you're incorporating smaller, manageable amounts into your regular budget. And the best part? You're building a safety net for you and your loved ones, one can, one battery, one bandage at a time. By gradually stockpiling, you can build a robust supply without feeling the financial pinch. It's practical, it's doable, and most importantly, it's a step towards ensuring your family's security in uncertain times. There's a time to buy and there's a time to get your hands dirty. Let's delve into the world of DIY and buying pre-made supplies, breaking down the pros and cons of each. DIY, or do-it-yourself, is a very attractive option for those looking to save a few bucks. When we do things ourselves, we often find that the costs are significantly less than buying pre-made items. DIY can be as simple as assembling your own first aid kit, or as complex as constructing a water filter. Making your own fire starters, candles, and soap can also save you a pretty penny. But remember, while DIY can be cheaper, it requires time and skills. On the other hand, buying pre-made supplies can be more convenient. It saves you time and effort, and you can be confident in the quality and effectiveness of what you're getting. However, this convenience often comes with a higher price tag. Let's talk about a few specific items. When it comes to emergency food, Wise Company is a reputable brand that offers a wide range of options. For water filters, Sawyer is a trusted name. And if you're looking for a first aid kit that's ready to go, Adventure Medical Kits has you covered. But don't discount the middle ground. You can often find ways to combine DIY and buying to maximize your savings and efficiency. For example, you could purchase a bulk bag of dried beans and portion them into smaller vacuum-sealed bags yourself. Or buy a basic first aid kit and supplement it with additional items you've gathered on your own. So, should you DIY or buy? It really comes down to your personal situation. Consider your budget, your time, your skills, and your needs. And don't forget to factor in the value of your own time. Remember, DIY can be a great money saver, but knowing when to buy is equally important. So weigh your options carefully and make the choice that's best for you. Your future self, sitting comfortably in a well-prepared home, will thank you. Creativity and resourcefulness can stretch your budget further than you might think. When we talk about prepping, we often think about buying and stockpiling. But there's another side to it, repurposing and finding multi-use items. It's about being smart with what you have and giving new life to the items that are already around you. Take baking soda, for example. This humble pantry staple is a multitasking marvel. It can be used for cleaning, deodorizing, and even for first aid purposes. It's a gentle abrasive for cleaning, a natural deodorizer, and can help soothe insect bites or rashes when made into a paste with water. And then there's vinegar. It's not just for your fish and chips. Vinegar is a powerful cleaning and disinfecting agent. It can also be used in food preservation, like pickling. Ever thought about those old towels you're about to throw away? Stop right there. They can be repurposed into cleaning rags, makeshift bandages, or even used for insulation. This mindset extends to clothing too. That old t-shirt you love but can't wear anymore, it can become a reusable shopping bag or a cleaning rag. And let's not forget about containers. Empty jars, for instance, are excellent for food storage or candle making. Old furniture, too, can be given a new lease of life. That chest of drawers you're not using, it could be a great storage solution for your supplies or even a shelter for small pets in an emergency. The key here is to think outside the box. Look at the items in your home and ask yourself, how else could this be used? It's not just about saving money, but also about reducing waste and being resourceful. So before you rush out to buy new supplies, take a moment to assess what you already have. You might be surprised at how many items in your home can be repurposed or have multiple uses. With a little creativity, the items you already have can serve multiple purposes in an emergency. Prepping doesn't have to be a solitary activity. The community can be a great resource. Now I know what you're thinking. You're preparing for a situation where you might have to fend for yourself. But hear me out. Your community, your neighbors, your friends, they can all be valuable allies in your prepping journey. Consider this. Everyone has unique skills, knowledge, and resources. By sharing these, we can all benefit and become more resilient. This isn't about giving away your secrets or your stockpile. It's about fostering a sense of community resilience. It's about ensuring that if disaster strikes, you're not alone. Now, how can you tap into these community resources? Think local. There are probably already groups and networks in your area that are dedicated to sharing resources and knowledge. These could be buy-nothing groups, seed exchanges, or skill-sharing networks. You can find these on platforms like Facebook or Nextdoor, and don't forget about community events and workshops. These are fantastic opportunities to learn new skills, from canning fruits and vegetables to basic first aid. Plus, they give you a chance to meet like-minded individuals. Who knows, you might meet someone who's an expert in a skill you've been wanting to learn, or someone who has access to resources you've been struggling to find. But remember, it's not just about taking. It's about giving, too. What skills, knowledge, or resources can you share with your community? Maybe you're a whiz at fixing things, or you have a green thumb. Perhaps you're great at organizing, or you have a knack for finding deals. Whatever it is, don't be shy about sharing it. Your community will be stronger for it. So don't overlook the power of your community. It can be a treasure trove of resources and knowledge. And in a disaster situation, having a network of people you can rely on can make all the difference. Remember, prepping isn't just about survival. It's about thriving, and we can do that better together. Remember, your community can be a treasure trove of resources and knowledge. When money is tight, your skills and resources can become your currency. This statement rings true, especially when we talk about prepping. Bartering and skill sharing are age-old practices that have stood the test of time, proving their worth in various situations, including crises and emergencies. Bartering is essentially trading goods or services without the exchange of money. Let's say you have an abundance of canned goods, but you're running low on firewood. You can barter some of your canned goods for someone else's surplus firewood. It's a win-win arrangement that requires no cash involvement. Skill sharing, on the other hand, is the exchange of expertise. For instance, if you're a whiz at fixing machines, you can offer your mechanical skills in exchange for someone teaching you how to garden. This way, both parties benefit from the exchange and gain new knowledge or services without spending a dime. So, how can you barter effectively? Start by identifying your skills and resources. This could be anything from cooking and gardening to first aid and carpentry. Knowing what you can offer is the first step to successful bartering. Next, understand the value of your skills and resources. This is not about putting a monetary value on them, but rather understanding their worth in a survival situation. For example, a skill like knowing how to purify water might be more valuable than a stack of luxury items in a crisis. Building relationships is another crucial part of bartering. The stronger your relationships with potential trading partners, the smoother your transactions will be. This is because trust and mutual respect play a significant role in successful bartering. Lastly, always remember that bartering and skill sharing are not just about the exchange of goods or know-how. They're also about mutual aid and community support. In times of crisis, these exchanges can foster a sense of community, encouraging cooperation and solidarity. Don't underestimate the value of your skills and resources. They can be a lifeline in a crisis. Prepping is more than just stockpiling supplies. It's about planning for long-term sustainability. Consider this. If our modern conveniences were to suddenly disappear, how would we maintain our basic needs over an extended period? That's where the concept of sustainability comes into play. It's about creating systems that can keep going indefinitely without depleting resources or causing harm to our environment. A key part of long-term sustainability is food production. Having a garden can provide a continual source of fresh produce, and the skills to cultivate it are invaluable. You don't need a large space. Even a small patio can yield a surprising amount of food with the right planning. Composting is another sustainable practice that complements gardening. It's a way to recycle organic waste into nutrient-rich soil, reducing the need for chemical fertilizers. Plus, it reduces the amount of trash you produce, which can be a crucial factor in a long-term survival situation. Water is another resource we can't live without. Rainwater harvesting is a simple, cost-effective method to collect and store water for future use. This water can be used for irrigation, washing, or even drinking with proper treatment. Let's not forget about energy. As we know, our modern world runs on electricity, but what happens when the power grid goes down? That's where renewable energy comes in. Solar panels and wind turbines can generate electricity, while wood-burning stoves can provide heat. Yes, these items can have a higher upfront cost, but they pay for themselves over time and provide a level of independence that's priceless in a survival scenario. So you see, sustainability isn't just good for the environment, it's a crucial part of long-term survival. It's about creating systems that can keep going, even when everything else stops. It's about working with nature rather than against it. Remember, sustainability is the key to long-term survival and can also save you money in the long run. So, you see, prepping doesn't have to be an expensive venture. It's all about being smart, strategic, and a bit creative. Today we've discussed a myriad of ways to make prepping more affordable, and it all starts with prioritizing your essentials. Remember, needs always come before wants. Focus on acquiring the basics: water, food, first aid supplies, shelter, sanitation, light, and hygiene. And don't forget, there are always budget-friendly options for each category. Gradual stockpiling is another strategy we've discussed. Building your supplies over time can be a less daunting and more manageable way to prep. Incorporating prepping into your weekly grocery budget, using sales, coupons, and cashback apps are all effective ways to stockpile without straining your wallet. We also looked at the pros and cons of DIY versus buying pre-made supplies. Crafting your own items can be a cost-effective method, but it does require time and skills. On the other hand, buying pre-made can be more convenient but often pricier. By evaluating each item, you can make an informed decision that suits your needs and budget. Repurposing and making use of multi-purpose items can also go a long way in saving money. Simple household items like baking soda or vinegar can serve multiple uses, and old clothes or furniture can be given a second life. Remember, community resources can be invaluable. Sharing resources and knowledge with others not only lightens the load, but also fosters a sense of community. Bartering and skill sharing can also be valuable tools during a bug-in situation. Lastly, we talked about long-term sustainability strategies. Gardening, rainwater harvesting, composting, and using renewable energy are all ways to ensure you're prepared for the long haul. With these strategies, you can be prepared for any emergency without breaking the bank. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, prepping is a journey, not a destination.